the third thing is kind of where we've stumbled into now, this idea of definition, redefinition, transformation, starting over.
Yeah.
And so it seems like you're in a place now of redefining who you are and what your life looks like.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid of it because I've been there before.
Fail for you.
When you look back on your life, what have been the definitions of Brad? Can you think of like a handful of them? Or
I hid things and limited the audience of who I was for survival, for trying to fit in, or for just trying to not bring attention.
So was it sneaky? That's not a good word.
No,
but the word, it was,
like
you were secretive, or you were
reserved and
quiet.
Yeah. And shy, and not, it just, my self-confidence and worry and feeling like whatever I did was going to make me a target just ruined a lot of chances for living.
That was like a first definition.
Yeah.
And then what was your next definition? Seems like you went into theater and into computer science and some of these areas.
Artist was where I tried to hide.
Artist was your next definition.
Yeah.
But it was still a hiding.
That was always it was the thing that I continued to do, but I felt like I could define myself as it and hide in it.
Say more about that.
Because it is a way, it's a shield. You don't have to tell people why you are a certain way. I'm an artist. So that creates a expectation and a barrier, and you can control it. Oh, I'm a painter. I'm a thing. It's a definition. It's a concept. It's people are afraid of it and they're not good at it. It's a weapon. It's a way to express things and hide within those things that you don't want to share out loud. You can hide in the dark in the theater and just run the lights, and you can be behind the scenes and not on stage. Even though my personality was one that would have been on stage, but I hid that away because it was safer. And then I was that until I had a kid. Until I was artist and hiding within that shell of what I did was who I was. And that was good enough. That the work was so much of what I put energy into that was who I was.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else. We weren't religious. I wasn't spiritual. It was just, this is what I am.
Artist.
Yeah.
And then what was your new definition when you had kids?
And teacher too, but like, it was not like, I could teach, but I was trying to maintain this thing. Yeah. And then when you have a kid, because and how I met you, when we decided to break societal norm and be a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
Instead of the wife at home and the man as the bread keeper, and you go and there's a large part of the world that thinks that is against God and sin to be a man at home to raise your kids. And at the same time, you are misunderstood in public, or you think, oh, look at, you're praised for basically just doing nothing. Like, oh, you're at the grocery store. Oh, look, dad's helping mom, like whatever. There's this societal concept.
Mm-hmm.
And so like suddenly I was no longer my work. I was hiding in the job of parent. But I was not able to do that easily because I was picking the job as parent in a situation that was not normal. So you can't hide when you're the only one at the park where all the kids are playing with you because you're the only dad there. And all the moms are like, why are my kids playing with this guy at the park?
Yeah, the moms were always a little bit.
It depended on what part of the city.
Dad, yeah.
Or, you're at the park with a bunch of nannies and they don't care because it's their job.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever, man, I don't care. Depends on where you were and what their relationship was. But so then suddenly it's not you can't hide, like you're out on the stage, but you're also, that you're responsible and there's extra pressure. And so, and also I just wanted to, it was a better fit. So I'm like, okay, again, like, I don't care what the world says. This is what we're doing. This is our family choice, and this is the best one for us, and I'll figure it out. But it was just my shift in focus was to be a great parent. And so then there's this extra pressure on top of already not fitting in. Like, now I've picked a thing where you can't hide because you're like at a park with a baby and trying to change the diaper and it's screaming. Like, there's just a tension and noise and chaos. And you're like, well, here I am. This is it.
Yeah.
And then by the second kid, you're like, oh, this is easy. I got this. Like, I felt comfortable in my title as parent that I could hide. But that first year was incredibly hard because I was removing the identity of artist. Then I was no longer. What do you do? Oh, I'm a parent. But what was I still doing? I was still helping people and doing all this other stuff. And so I didn't want to get into it. So I just like, well, here's the new label. Switch
Stay
hats.
home dad. Yeah.
Stay home dad, parent, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. New label, new role, new responsibilities. This is the thing I'm going to be best at. And this is what I'm going to put my energy into. And you just continue to lose yourself, or you never found yourself, or you never allowed yourself to be who you were because you were hiding under one label and you switched it.
Yeah.
And then your kids come out and shine light in all the dark places and go, hey, you did not finish fixing this. You hid from all of this. You are still in there and you didn't deal with it. Good luck.
They invite you into your work.
Yeah.
Your men's work.
Yeah.
Or
For
your human's work.
yes, survival of self.
Yeah.
Finding self. And now 19 years on with losing a parent who you knew was always had your back no matter what. There was a gap of love, like a loss of stability, of anchoring.
Yeah, losing your mom.
Yeah. And then realizing your kids are growing and they need to be allowed to grow.
Self-differentiation.
Yeah. And also going, well, who are you now?
Yeah. New definition.
Am I still teaching? But like the things I do, I had to be more and more comfortable with knowing that that's not who I was, but I didn't know who I was either. I knew I wasn't the things I did, but I didn't know who I was. Not clearly, not in a way that felt secure. I don't know if I have that answer now either, but I know that I feel one more loss, one more massive change in my relationship and my life, and relearning how to parent kids who are becoming independent and needing to be able to grow safely, and having given them a stable life that I didn't, and seeing them handle and understand coming into their own and knowing who they are, but also seeing how, and it's still to be determined, but just seeing their understanding of our relationship separate from wife and husband.
You and your ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been incredible, but terrifying too, because it's like, okay, I'm most afraid of this thing, and now it's happened.
Yeah.
Now what? Well, I can shut down and close off, but I don't want to go back into gray. I don't want to lose. I'd rather feel horrible.
Be angry, be sad.
Yeah. I just don't want to feel nothing.
Yeah.
And I was tired of grieving, and I finally let that go.
Grieving.
Yeah. Like, I was tired of holding all of this stuff, expectation, fear, whatever, relationships, fight. Like I just let it all go.
Mm-hmm.
And you connect with people. When you finally wipe away all the stuff and you can breathe and hear and see, it's like, oh, there's all this stuff that's still there, that's been there. And you have new connections and new experiences, and you finally can start to feel like, oh, here I am. Because you have to. Like there's nothing left. Like if you truly let it go and just are alone with who you are and don't seek affirmation, or you don't need anything, you just have yourself to look at and go, yeah, who am I? Why? What's the value in figuring that out even? Like, what does it matter? And it matters because the people that love you and that you touch and connect with reach out and let you know the person you are gave me this. You impacted me. So as soon as I let all the noise go, this flood of love came back.
Yeah, this is how I've been impacted by you, your presence.
Yeah. And it was overwhelming because it was just people coming without even knowing or being asked, or just even not realizing what they were doing. I just could suddenly see and hear it and appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And it was, and when they would find out what was going on or something, like, again, it was like the fear of what are they going to find out? Oh, I'm going to be embarrassed. This is like, no, I let that go. And all I got back was incredible amounts of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I did it, because I knew I didn't want to repeat what my mom did.
Yeah. So you let people in.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to just be open, and whatever happens is going to happen. But I'm going to put this stuff down and let go and just be.
Yeah.
And look and remove the icon and the societal images of what tree's supposed to look like, or whatever it is, like what marriage is supposed to look like, what family's supposed to look like, and just go, nope, this is my space. This is who I am, and what I have, my core being has been to this point valuable to other people in ways I didn't know until they told me.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me until I was ready to hear it, and I wasn't ready to hear it until I let go. And then it all came flooding in.
Yeah. For some reason, the Maya Angelou quote comes to mind that people won't remember what you said. They won't remember what you did. They remember how you made them feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it seems like folks let you know how you made them feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that kind of gave you an awareness to your impact on the world and the people in it.
Yeah.
And how they held you.
Yeah. And it let me be there for people that needed me in ways that I could never have been before.
Mm-hmm.
And the timing of some of these things is unbelievable. Like I look at the things that have happened in the last 6 months in my life, and some of them are like, the best novelists couldn't have written this stuff. Like, it would have been like, no one would believe this. And it was all happening anyway. I would have just been completely blind to it.
Yeah.
It would have been so noisy in here, I would have missed it, or I wouldn't have trusted it. I would have not double checked. I wouldn't have looked. I would have run away from it, shut it out, or mishandled it.
Yeah.
Or just missed it completely. And I just refused. I refused to allow myself to do that. Because I don't want to live anymore going forward missing those things that are just easy to see when you're not injuring yourself with thoughts and words and hurt and what if and future plans and all living in the past and, you know, nostalgia and fear in the future, or wishes and wants of things and mourning the things that aren't. It's gone in that moment. All those things just are gone. And I can hang on to those dearly because like that was what was supposed to be. Or I can just go, nope, it's over. That's gone. What is?
Some way of being here now.
Yeah.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, but not like that. That requires effort to try to be, this is truly letting go.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a practice or I thought martial arts would help fix that in me, and it didn't. It was another way to put a label, but not. I was still closed off to the things that it was giving me.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like all of it. Just yeah. For me, I was hanging on to things that I needed to put down and let go. And when I was forced to, and when I just felt like I couldn't do anymore, I just got it out. I let it go. And what was there when the noise went away are some of the most incredible, deeply life-saving relationships and connections that I didn't even know could exist. And that's what my life is at this moment we're talking. There are things in my life that are so unbelievably nourishing and loving and connected to who I felt like I was when I was a kid digging holes in the ground with my mom.
Yeah.
And the artist trying to create, and the teacher teaching, and the parent, and all of those labels are unimportant, but it's who I have continued to be, like reignited full blast. Like I just feel like I feel like myself for the first time, maybe ever.
I think it's so beautiful. And for a while now, I've had this idea of, in Buddhism, I hope I get this right.
Well, if you don't, it's a fail.
Phails, yes. On the way to enlightenment, there's this idea of no self. And not K-N-O-W self, N-O self. Like an emptiness.
Yeah.
And when I hear you say letting go, I think about letting go of all the ideas of me.
Yeah.
All of them that I picked up along the way, these definitions.
Expectations.
And there's something around perpetual redefinition in a discovery of this moment now.
Yeah.
How am I now?
Yeah.
How do I meet this now? As opposed to just like that tree.
Yeah.
Do I meet now? Do I stamp now out?
Oh, tree. Yep.
Stamp it out.
Yeah.
How do I now? Oh, I learned how to now before. I just before now.
No, I'm going to relook at it and go, no, this is what it is. Yeah.
And I can take away all that, the no self, emptiness, and meet the present moment with the present me.
Yeah.
The no.
Yeah. And the harder you dig for it and search for it and try and sit, and I'm going to be mindful, the further away it escapes, the further away it goes, the further you flail and sink and push yourself out to sea.
Yeah. It's effortless efforting. There's this idea of you can't will something into existence. And then you probably have to have a bunch of experiences to get there. The hero's journey, it happens inside. but you're exposed to the world outside and the people along the way that allow you to have that inner experience.
Yeah. Which has been the gift of the people that are in my life.
Yeah.
And that showed up unknowingly right when they needed to.
Wow.